lessons. Welcome to Rocksmith. To make sure you get them, well then, welcome aboard. Now, how experienced would you say you are at playing guitar or bass? Alright, now let's choose what kind of parts you want to play. You can scroll through the options to find out a little about each one. This one's pretty Welcome to Rocksmith. To make sure So, you're already pretty familiar with Rocksmith, but would you like to brush up on the basics before we move on? Alright, now let's choose what kind of parts you want to play. Do you plan on playing righty or lefty? As a rhythm guitarist, give this one a shot. Awesome. Let's move on. Before we dive into playing songs, give this one a shot. Do you plan on playing righty? Alright, now let's choose what kind of parts you want to. Welcome to Rocksmith. Let's take a minute to get your strap attached and adjusted just right. Most guitars have two metal buttons for connecting your strap. There's usually one at the bottom and one here at the opposite corner. Not all guitars have the strap buttons in these exact locations, so you might have to adjust accordingly. Now, let's attach the strap to the bottom button. If your strap has this thing you slide to adjust the length, you might want to attach the end closest to that thing to the bottom, so it doesn't dig into your shoulder. Then you just attach the other end to the other button. Make sure the strap doesn't fold back over the button or get twisted up. You want the strap to lay flat. The slits in the strap might be a little tight, so it might be tough to squeeze the buttons through at first, especially if the strap's new. Now, just take a minute to adjust the strap. Once it's in a good place, you're ready to rock. To play standing, you want a guitar strap attached. The strap goes over your shoulder and around your back, and the guitar just rests against your stomach. It might be tempting to try playing with the guitar hanging extremely low or high, but that can get uncomfortable fast. You want the guitar somewhere between chest and stomach level, with the neck tilted slightly upwards. You might need to adjust the strap to get a good angle. Let the strap do the work. You don't want to be holding the guitar while you're trying to play. Now, let your forearm rest lightly against the edge of the guitar, and you're ready to play. Of course, everybody's different, so that exact position and angle of the guitar will vary from person to person. If playing feels awkward or hurts, you might want to stop and adjust. To play standing, you'll want a guitar. There's a couple different ways to hold your guitar while you're sitting down. We'll show you how it works for a right-handed player, so if you're playing lefty, you'll need to reverse it. Let the indent on the lower side of the guitar rest on your right leg. It can lean back against your body. You want to balance the guitar without having to support it with your arms because they're going to be busy playing. Then you just let your forearm rest against the edge of the guitar. You can try resting the indent over your left leg with the back end of the guitar resting against your right leg. You'll need to raise your left leg up with a big book or a small stool. The same principles apply here. Keep the guitar balanced so you don't have to muscle it around with your arms. And again, you just let your forearm rest against the edge of your guitar, ready to play. Let's start with the most basic part of picking technique, how to hold your pick. Curl the fingers of your picking hand into a loose fist and rest the pick right on the last knuckle of your index finger. Then just let your thumb rest on top of the pick. You don't have to squeeze too hard. You want the pick to be able to pivot a bit between the fingers as it picks the strings. There are two huge things to keep in mind when it comes to picking notes on the guitar. Number one is no tension. You play with tension, you'll get tired faster. You'll make more mistakes, and if you do it long enough, you can do real damage to yourself. So keep it relaxed. If you feel yourself tensing up, take a break, shake it out, and start over. Number two is what we call economy of motion. That just means you don't do any more than you have to. Even the thickest guitar strings are only a fraction of an inch thick, so you just need a very tiny motion to get your pick from one side of the string to the other. No need to overdo it. Let's start with a basic downstroke. That just means you pick down through the string. Start with the pick above the string you want to pick. It can rest on the string until you're actually ready to play it. Now, push the pick right through it. The pick can then rest on the next string down. Now, when you learn upstrokes too, you'll be able to play twice as many notes with the same motion. An upstroke is exactly what it sounds like. You play the string by pulling the pick up through it. All the motion happens in the wrist. It's just a tiny rotation, not a huge movement. And remember, when you're playing electric guitar, you don't have to pick it hard to make it loud. That's the amp's job. Now, when it comes to picking, one of the best things you can learn starting out is alternate picking. That just means you're going to pick down, up, down, up, down, up all the time. The key is that you always go down on down beats and up on up beats. Even if you leave a note out, your hand still keeps going down and up just as if you had played a note there anyway. You'd also keep this going if you did a hammer-on or pull-off or something like that. You don't pick the string on the hammer-on, but your picking hand still goes up on the note, just as if you had played it, so when it's time to play a downstroke, you're ready to go. This is how you get to where you can play those fast passages with lots of notes. It's not the only approach to picking up, but it's definitely the best place to start, and a good habit to pick up early on. Let's start with the most basic part of picking technique, how to hold your pick. Curl the talk about shifting, we just mean moving your hand up and down the neck to different positions. But before we get to that, let's take a quick sec and get to know your guitar a little better. Most guitars use dots or some other kind of inlay to mark certain frets. They're usually marked on both the fretboard and the upper side of the neck. The first dot is usually on the 3rd fret. Go ahead and find that on your guitar. Let's just play the 3rd fret on the low E string, the thickest string, highlighted in red. Give it a shot. Great job! There will probably also be dots or inlays on the 5th, 7th, and 9th frets. Let's find those. Amazing! Excellent! Amazing! The next one up is the 12th fret, usually marked with a double dot. The 12th fret is special because notes 12 frets apart are what we call an octave higher. That means it's the same note, just at a higher pitch. Same thing with the 3rd and 15th frets. 12 frets apart, so it's another octave. Notice the dot pattern above the 12th fret just repeats the pattern from the lower frets. The dots above the 12th fret are the 15th, 17th, 19th, and 21st. Don't worry, as you play more, these fret numbers will become second nature, and you'll be able to quickly tell which upper dots are an octave higher than the lower ones. Now you try it. That was good. Great job. That was good. Now here's a riff that will take some shifting to play. Listen to this riff one more time before you play it. Now your turn. Let's try that again. Outstanding. Here's another one with a little more shifting to it. Here's the riff again. Listen to it, then play it. Play it now. Excellent. You're ready to apply this to a practice track now. Here goes. Rocksmith adjusts the level of the song whenever you need it. The more notes you get right, the closer you get to playing the master level version of the song.